everybody. Hi, I'm teacher Christina and we have teacher Faith with us as well. So today, right, okay, let me share screen. Okay, so this is what we have prepared for all of you. You can see it. Okay, so to build confidence, not just grades, because having confidence will actually lead to good grades. So now, what is the BlueTree PSLE preparation formula? Okay, so a bit of myself. How come I cannot click? Okay, so this is a bit of myself. So I'm actually the HOD of primary science for BlueTree. I have over 15 years of teaching experience. So if you've seen this is not new to you. So I major in banking. So I have a proven track record of 100% improvement rate. I make science easy to understand. So I am a dedicated, approachable, patient teacher. Yes, so for those of you, if let's say your child has been with me, so you know how I teach, I'm not fierce, but I'm firm. Okay, but I'll make sure that your child will really benefit from all our BlueTree lessons. Okay, then let's take a look at this one. There are common struggles, right, okay, among the P5 and P6 students. What are they? So parents keep telling me they find it very difficult to apply concepts to OEQ. Some of them say that they have written down the answers, but it seems to be incomplete or vague. Some of them say that, oh, the key question words they misinterpret, like they do not know relationship, state, explain, describe. What are the things to look out for? Weak science concept. This is a killer. If your science concepts are weak, there's no way you can score high marks. Okay, the other one will be forgetting keywords despite understanding concept. So a lot of students, right, they want to write, but yet they do not know what is the correct word to describe. So this is actually the science words that they need to write in their exam, during the exam itself or test, so that they can score. Now, lack of exam time management, as all of you know, currently right now, right, they only have one year, end of the year exam. The rest will be weighted assessment and they are not a true indication of how your child is faring because the marks will be like 15 marks, 20 marks, maximum is 50 marks. So the thing is that a lot of students, when they do this WA, to them is doing revision paper or maybe worksheets. They do not feel that it is, they don't feel any impact. They don't find that it is necessary to study, right? Until final year exam, that's where, you know, parents will keep stressing, exams are coming, please study, please study, please study. But yet, students cannot understand why is there a need to study when it's only like 15 marks, 20 marks, right? Okay, next. Now, these are some of the samples of my students answering. Okay, so this is based on their prelim papers that they have actually sent to me. Now, you see the first one, right? Even though English it may seem right, but there's missing keywords at the back. So it gives it 0. No, not even half a mark. Then for the second one, if you take a look at this one here, the answer, right, never linked back to the question. So that's why you see the caret sign. Okay, so out of 2, this student only scored 1 mark. The other one, you see a lot of ticks. Many correct ticks, but no marks awarded. Okay, so this is another one. Okay, you see, right, for this part A, on the left-hand side, correct relationship, but never explained. So it may seem right, but because there's no explanation, 0 mark. Then for this one here, if you see 1 mark minus half, okay, because marks are deducted for wrong concept or totality. So this, sometimes you can see in your child's paper. Then the last one, right? Okay, although the explanation is correct, but there's no comparison. Okay, when we say comparison, we must use the word better, more, stronger, this kind of word. So marks are being deducted. So if we notice, right, their understanding is there, but yet they do not score because of all these words lacking in their answers. Okay, now, so this is the new format. I think some of you would have noticed. Now, for this one, the new changes coming up, Section A, right, which is the MCQ, there will be a total of 30 MCQ. Currently, it's only 28. So this one will make up 60% of the paper. Section B will be open-ended questions. So it's 40 marks. So you say, wow, very good. That means to say, if my child is in OEQ, right, that means they will score high marks for overall. The answer is wrong. You know why? Because Section A, right, it means to say that the level of difficulty is challenging. So it's not easy anymore. And in order to do well, you have to do very well for Section A to pull out your marks. So total time, right, will be still the same, 1 hour and 45 minutes, no change. But it's just that the weightage of Section A and B will be different. So for those who have seen this AL scoring system before, if your child is currently P3, P4, you're using band 1, 2, 3, 4. if your child is P5 this year, right, if you notice they are using the AL grade. So if you take a look at the report book, there is a difference. Now, if let's say a child currently is at 70 marks, so you may be saying, oh, my child is in band 2. So band 2 in P4, right, is 70 to 84. But if you go to P5 and you're still getting 70, by right, you are actually maintaining or even better, because P5, P6 level, right, it's difficult to score 70. But if you talk about AL grade, 70 would mean to say that your child will actually be in AL5. So from band 2 becomes AL5, it seems that there's a drop. So what does this mean? It means to say at P3, P4 level, the understanding of science, when you go to P5 to P6, right, you have to do something more in order to score better. If not, your child, right, will be hovering between AL5, AL4, AL6. So imagine if AL5, one subject, 4 subjects will be AL20. That will be total score. So if you want to go to a very good secondary school with a mark of 20, right, it may limit your choice. Yes? Okay, so if you take a look for AL Band 1, so this one, if you convert to P5, P6 AL grade, is AL1 and 2. For Band 2, it can be this 3. That means between AL3 to AL5. If you are in Band 3, for the AL scoring system will be 5 and 6. And of course, if you score a Band 4, the range will score between 6, 7, and 8 for AL. So if you notice, right, of course, for AL6, the marks range is 20 marks. If you want to score beyond that, you really have to work hard, because to increase or a jump of 20 marks is really, really through hard work. And then if you talk about AL5, the mark difference is 10. That means to say you also need to do considerably well in order to jump one grade higher. So if you notice, right, from AL4 onwards, the jump will be smaller, 5 marks each AL grade. Yeah, so that's why for those who are struggling with AL6, okay, be it 45 or 64, you are still under the same grade, which is AL6. So you really have to work very hard in order to pull yourself up from this AL6 to jump to a 4 or 3 or even a 1. That means to say a lot of hard work must be done. Now, so what are the high impact strategies to improve quickly? There are 3 things that you must remember. SEA. What is SEA? First of all, strong command of science concept. A lot of students say, I read the textbook already. But if you just read the textbook, right, it's not good enough, because science entails a lot of concepts behind it, not just the textbook knowledge. So they have to read widely, they have to revise through the revision guides and all this. Now, you need to have a very strong science concept in order to have an excellent command of science language. Now, what is this excellent command of science language? Just I mentioned to you the keywords, like if the question asks about state, describe, relationship, this kind of terms. Now, the child must need to identify this kind of science language and write appropriately. Thirdly, answer skills and technique. Now, this one is to enhance the answering skills so that your child can score as high marks as possible. So with these 3, right, you can see that there will be a vast improvement in terms of your child's mark. So in BlueTree, we actually layer this one by one so that your child can achieve the desired grades. Now, so you see, this one is actually our Google review. Okay, this one is actually the Google review of all teachers. So we have Teacher Joe, Teacher Hui Ling, Teacher Graham, Teacher Bobby, Teacher Fabian, Teacher Sari, Teacher Wendy, Teacher Wen Hao, Teacher Yiting, and myself. So all the teachers, right, we have all the 7 branches. So they are everywhere. So you can actually sign up according to where is the nearest location for you. Yes? Okay. Yeah, let me see. Video recording. Okay, we have recorded this, but I'm not too sure whether they will disseminate this recording to the parents or not. Yeah. Okay, but later when I go through some of the questions, you can actually take photos. Okay, next one. Okay, so what is our BlueTree teaching strategies? Now, it's a proven approach to scoring AL1 or 2 in PSLE science. So for MCQ, right, we actually teach them the what method, HUAT. So what does it stand for? H stands for highlight keywords to identify topic and concept. U will be underline the question term. 3 is annotate. 4 is tick and crosses. So for parents out there, if you want, you can actually take a photo of this one Yeah, so this is what we actually taught them during lesson itself to help them in their MCQ part. Okay, next. So I'll be going through certain questions, right? Okay, to actually incorporate how we teach. So for this one, it's actually a PSLE paper. So this is for PSLE 2022. Now this question 16, which of the following is not an effect of a force? So we actually guide students to actually highlight or circle the important things, not the whole sentence down. So these are the 4 options given. So before they actually answer this, they have to know what are the effects of forces. So we always teach them effect of forces. Remember the word start, stop, change, change, change. So what are they? So they will be start a stationary object, stop a moving object. What do we change? Change speed, change direction, and change shape. Now, so once you understand what's the effect of forces, right? Let's take a look at option number 1. A rolling ball coming to a stop. So does it fall under one of these effects? Yes, it does. Which one? It will be stop a moving object. So this is an effect of force. Now, the second one, a paper aeroplane turning in the air. So it can be like, turning in the air. So this is actually changing the direction of a moving object. So this is also an effect of force. 3, forming clay into a doll. So what should it be? It will be the change the shape of an object. So this is also an effect of force. Next one, light passing through a glass pane. So do you think light is an effect of force? No, okay, because it does not show any effect of force. And actually, this is actually not an effect of force. So remember, light is a form of energy, okay? So light is not a force. So which one must you write? You should choose number 4 as your answer. So the tick and crosses, right, is very important to let students choose the correct answers. Okay, so for parents out there, if you want to actually take a photo of this question, please do so. I'll cut you 5 seconds before I move on to the next question. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and okay. Next, let's move on to the next question. Now, so this is also another PSLE question. Now, Jeannie used 4 similar leaves, A, B, C, D of the same mass to conduct an experiment. These leaves have more stomata, which is tiny openings on their bottom surfaces than on their top surfaces. Leaves will lose water through their stomata. She coated some surfaces of the leaves with oil. So I always like to use actions to actually teach my students. So imagine this is a piece of leaf, right? Okay, so they have more stomata on the bottom part. Okay, so you know that they really give you a clue. Leaves will lose water through their stomata. So she coated the leaves with oil. So remember, if you coat the leaves with oil, right, do you think water can be lost through the stomata? Okay, so this is actually the table given. So for leaf A, no oil. So that means just the leaf itself, no oil is being coated. So for leaf B, oil is being coated on the bottom surface. Leaf C, oil is only applied on the top surface. D, oil is actually applied on both the top and the bottom. Now, then the question they ask you, after the leaves were left in an open area for an hour, she removed the oil and measured the mass of each leaf, which shows the mass of the leaves in increasing order. Now, a lot of students, when they see this kind of question, they say, wow, so many words are so complicated. So what I will actually ask my students to do is to reread the question again, to break it up into smaller parts, sentence by sentence. So if you see that those I've highlighted, all these are the clues given to the question. Remember, clues are given. So students must know how to pick up the clues in order to guide their answers. So you have to actually arrange the math in increasing order. So this one math you all have learned before. Increasing order means what? From the lightest to the heaviest. But there will be some students who do not understand what's the meaning of increasing order and they will do the other way. If they do the other way around, you know that the answer would definitely be wrong. So let's analyze this table. Now, so for leaf A, right, there's no oil. So if there's no oil, what will happen? That means to say the leaves will actually lose water very easily, right? So they will actually lose the most amount of water. So in terms of the mass-wise, it will be the lightest. How about leaf B? Oil is on the bottom, and you know that at the bottom, right, there'll be more stomata. So which means to say the leaves can only lose water through the top part. So they will lose less water. Leaf C, the oil is on top. The oil is on top, most of the stomata is found at the bottom, which means to say that more water can actually be lost to the bottom surface, so it will lose even more water than B. Now, for leaf D, the oil is on top and the bottom, means to say it's covered. So if it's covered, can the leaves lose water? No. If the leaves doesn't lose water, what would happen to the mass? Definitely, it will have the most mass. That means it will be the heaviest. So now let's rearrange and see what is the answer for this. So the lightest mass will actually be A, followed by C, followed by B, and D being the heaviest. So you see, this is how we actually teach our students to analyze the data, analyze the table, and then to come up with the answer. Okay? So I give you all 5 seconds to actually take a photo of this answer. So far, any questions from the parents? No? All good? Okay. Next, let's move on to the open-ended. Now, open-ended, right? We actually teach our students ABC. So what does ABC stands for? A, answer with a choice. B, back with evidence. C, confirm concept. Now, some parents will be thinking, but the school teaches CER. So how are they different from ABC? Now, let me tell you this, CER and ABC, they are actually pretty much similar. But in school, the schools do not actually teach them very specifically how to get the C, the E, and R, which is the claims, the evidence, and the reason part. So with our BlueTree method, right, ABC, we actually makes it easier for them. So some parents say, so should we adopt the ABC method or should we use the school CR? Now, it depends on how comfortable and how confident your child in using it. But you will not be penalized because ultimately the answering structure will help to let your child score better. So next, I'm going to move on to open-ended. Now, this is a typical question, right? Which is very, very long. Okay, a lot of students don't like this kind of question because why? They do not want to analyze the diagram. When they don't analyze the diagram, right, they will not know how it works. And this has been an increasing trend for the past few years for PSLE. It has come out to the last few questions, one of it. Okay, so similar. The concept is similar. Now, Kumar set out the apparatus as shown. AB and CD are identical iron rods and are fixed in place. PQ is an iron bar, which is with a hammer at one end and rests on the fixed metal nail. So now, let's understand this one first, okay, before we move on. Okay, but let's read the part A question first. When he closed the switch, the hammer struck the bell repeatedly to give a continuous ding, ding, ding sound. Explain how the sound was produced. Now, if you see this diagram here, okay, always start off with when the circuit is closed. So what do you think will happen? So in BlueTree, we always ask students, what do you think will happen? We don't give them the answer straight away, but we get them to think it through. Because without thinking it, right, they will just be like, accepting the answers as it is. So if when the switch is closed, it becomes an electric. The electric current can flow through. Now, you notice that iron rods are fixed, right? So they do not move. What will happen to iron rod? So I always tell my students, when the iron rod, when they are actually coiled with many wires, right, what will happen to iron rod? They become an electromagnet, right? So it's a temporary magnet. Now, PQ being an iron bar, right, what will happen? Because the electromagnet cannot move, so only PQ can move. So this PQ will actually be attracted to the iron rod, okay? And then there's this hammer. So what do you do? What do they do? They actually ding, 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 right? So it is repeatedly. So it's not just ding like that. So you know that the movement is continuous. So now explain how the sound was produced. So after thinking through the answer, this is where we actually ask them to write down the answer. So how should we write down? This topic is on electrical system. So just like I mentioned to you, the iron rods are magnetized to become electromagnet. So electromagnet is actually one of the important keywords to write down. Okay, so PQ gets attracted. So what will happen to PQ? PQ actually will be going up. So they are actually, so answer cannot say go up. So they will be attracted to the AB and CD, right? So then the hammer will actually hit the bell. Now, so this is the same thing as well. Okay, now, but the thing is that once this PQ, right, hits it, right, what happens to metal? Okay, so imagine this is my metal, fixed metal nail. So this is my PQ. When I lift it up, right, what happens? There's a gap. So when there's a gap, what does this tell you? The switch is not closed anymore. So it's an open circuit. So when it is open circuit, do you think the electric current can flow through? No. And what will happen to A, B, and C, D? Will they still become an electromagnet? The answer is no. So they will be demagnetized, right? So will PQ still be attracted? No. So they fall back. So this continuous movement up and down, right, will make the hammer make the ting, ting, ting sound. Then, how should we write? So we notice this is not your typical ABC kind of answering skills. So we will talk about when the switch is closed, what will happen? Electric current can flow through. And AB and CD becomes an electromagnet, or you can say magnetize into electromagnet and attract PQ. So when they attract PQ, what happens? The hammer will hit the bell, producing a ting sound. Now, is this enough? No, this is only part of the question. So some you say, this one is not worth too much. No, it is not. Because the sound is ting, ting, ting. So it's not a continuous. So there is like intermittent. You have to tell me what happens. So when PQ is disconnected, right, the circuit becomes open. So when the circuit becomes open, no electric current can flow through. Okay? Then what happens to AB and CD? They are no longer electromagnets, so they demagnetize. And what will happen to PQ? It will fall back to the metal nail again. Okay, then this is where the closed circuit. So this cycle will repeat and produce the continuous sound. So you have to write like this in order to get you 2 marks. So some of you say, wow, write so many marks, don't I get half a mark? Now, of course, the keywords must be there in order to score. Okay, so a lot of students, if you just write part of it, you will not get the full 2 marks. So what are the keywords that you need to take note of? Closed circuit, electric current can flow through. So we teach them the answering structure, how to write accordingly. Open circuit means no electric current can flow through. Okay, electromagnet. So all these are the important keywords to write in your answers. Okay. So I hope parents understand this kind of question so that you can also guide your child along if they happen to actually see this kind of similar question. Yes? Okay, so this is for part A. Do you want to take a photo of this answer first before I move on to the second part? So this question is very long. They have A, B, C. So this is one of the longest part. Next, I move on to the next part. Now, same thing. Kumar replaced now the spring with a stronger spring of the same size. So when he closed the switch, the hammer struck the bell repeatedly. State one effect on the sound produced. Explain your answer. So what did he do? He actually replaced it with a stronger spring. And then what is the question asking you? The effect on the sound. So what is the question trying to ask you? So you have to tell me, does the sound becomes louder, softer, or remains the same? So if you take a look at over here, okay, so if it is a stronger spring, right, okay, you see the elastic spring force exerting downwards. So do you think that it is easy for the PQ to be attracted to the electromagnet? It will be actually much harder, right? Okay, so the magnetic force is working against the elastic spring force. Now, so stronger spring means to say there will be greater elastic spring force pushing PQ down. So that means to say there will be less magnetic force pulling PQ up. So the sound produced will actually be softer. Okay, so it no longer be ding, ding, ding so loud. It will touch, but it will not touch as it will touch, but it's not as much as the previous part A like this. That's why the sound produced will be softer. So same thing, we use our ABC technique. Answer with a choice, back with evidence, confirm concept. So the sound produced is softer. Why? Because the spring is changed to a stronger spring. How do we know? Because the evidence is from the question itself. Now, so if the spring is changed to a stronger spring, it will have a greater elastic spring force pushing PQ down further. So PQ will hit the bell with less force when attracted. That is why the sound produced will be softer. Right? So this pretty much really explain in totality how this part works. Okay, so parents, do you want to take a photo of this part before I move on to part C? All good? Okay, I shall move on to part C. Okay, part C, same thing. Also the same diagram, but they say state the effect on the sound produced if the fixed metal nail is replaced with a wooden rod of the same size and shape. Now, a student, if they are not careful, they'll say, isn't it the same as part B? No. What is the difference now is that instead of this fixed metal nail, it is being replaced with a wooden rod. So there's a change to this setup here. So wooden rod, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? It is an electrical insulator. So if it is an electrical insulator, do you think the electric current can flow through? No. So do you think this device will be able to work? No. Right? So we use the ABC. What will happen to the effect on the sound? No sound will be produced. So there will still be a gap here. Why? Because the metal nail is changed to a wooden rod, okay, which is an electrical insulator. So the circuit will be open and no electric current can flow through. So you see, same diagram, they ask you different parts of it. They may look the same, but they are not the same. Can you share the last page of part A again? Okay, can. Okay, just give me a while, yeah? Okay, so far, okay, all good? So can y'all take a photo of this part C? Okay, last 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's move on. Okay, I will click to part A earlier, okay? Because one parent is asking for part A answer. Okay, this one? Yes? Okay, so for those who have missed out, please take a photo. Now, all these questions that I have actually gone through, right? They are the commonly asked PSLE questions. Yeah, so it requires a lot of thinking, it requires a lot of writing. So this is how we incorporate, just now I mentioned to you, the SEA. Okay, that means you might have a strong science concept. Okay, you need to be able to understand the science language very well, and then the answering skills and technique. Yeah, okay, come. Let's move on to, okay, this one we go through already, okay? Okay, the next one. Okay, so the freezing point. So this is 2024, okay? I purposely picked 2024, question 37. The freezing points and boiling points of three substances, PQR, are as shown. If you take a look at this table, now, do you know that this one, okay, for those who are maybe near to my, okay, similar of my age group, we are as parents, right? This topic, right, is actually in Set 3. But if you notice, they are being tested in P6. So you see how the standard of science have changed tremendously over these few years. Okay, so this one you learn in chemistry. Now, A, state what freezing means. Now, some of you say, wow, it looks so simple. Are you sure this is PSLE question? Yes, it is, but it's not simple. You know why? Freezing. A lot of you will know what is freezing. It means cold turn into ice. But is that what the answer requires? No. Okay, so this is a definition question for those who have actually attended my webinar for the previous one 2 weeks ago. I mentioned to you definition terms, right, are increasingly popular with PSLE. Okay, now some parents will ask, so what are the words? There's so many words, you know. So this year can be freezing, this year can be evaporation. After that, it can be boiling. It can be any science words, any science terms. So it is important that your child needs to know all this. So what freezing means? Freezing is a process where a liquid loses heat to become a solid at a fixed temperature. Now, some you say, why not water turn to ice? The question is, does the question state about water? No. Freezing can occur in any substances. So you have to state the what are the states? That means from what state to what state? Is it a gain heat or lose heat process? Is it a fixed temperature or any temperature? Now, exam cannot accept water, cannot accept ice, cannot accept freeze, 0 degrees Celsius cold. No. Okay, so if any of these will appear, you get 0 mark for definition question. So 1 mark seems easy to score, but yet it is how important keywords are in order to get this 1 mark. Okay, so please take photo of this before I move on to part B. All good? Okay, next. Okay, Mei has a closed container of volume 100 cubic centimeters. She stored 150 cubic centimeters of a substance in the container at 30 degrees Celsius. State which substance P, Q, or R she stored in the container. Explain your answer. Now, some of you say, what is this question about? If you're not strong with, this is actually P4 work on matter in its 3 states. If you're not strong with this topic, right, you may not understand what is this question talking about. So imagine you have a container. The capacity is only 100, but you want to place the substance, which is much more than that, into it. What does this tell you? Can it be a solid, liquid, or gas? So can it be a solid? No. Can it be a liquid? No. Can it be a gas? Yes. Now, so this is actually actually from the previous part, this is the table. Now, we will actually teach our child how to read from this table here. So you're given the freezing point and the boiling point. Anything below the freezing point, it is a solid. Anything between the freezing and the boiling point, it is a liquid. anything above the boiling point, it becomes gas. Okay, so the question has been stating 30 degrees Celsius. So for substance P, 30 degrees Celsius, where would this be? It will actually be a gaseous state. Now, parents, you try. For substance Q, right, at 30, which state would that be? Is it solid, liquid, or gas? So if you want, you can actually type out your answers, okay, to have a try. Anyone wants to try? So at 30 degrees Celsius, right? Okay. Let's see. Very good. Some of you, I see your answers. So at 30 degrees Celsius, substance Q is actually at liquid. Why? Okay, some of you say, why? Okay, because 30, right? 6 and 60, right? 30 is in between. So it will be a liquid. Then for R, at 30 degrees Celsius, it will be a solid. Okay, so at a glance, right, at 30 degrees Celsius, you will have known that substance P will be a gas, substance Q will be a liquid, substance R will be a solid. Okay, now back to this question. State which substance PQR is stored in a container. So what is the answer now? You all should know. So you see, we use ABC to actually answer this. It will be substance P. Now, why is the substance P? Because the substance with a volume of 150 cubic centimeters must be a gas in order to store into a 100 cubic centimeters container. As why? What's the property of gas? Gas can be compressed. So at 30 degrees Celsius, substance P is a gas which is able to fit into the container. Then for this one, you'll get your 2 marks. So you see, when you write with this using this structure ABC, it actually helps your child to have a more complete answers. So that you know that you have actually covered everything, you answer with the correct choice, you get the evidence from the question itself, and then see confirm concept to actually answer to the question. Yes? Okay, so I give you 5 seconds to actually take photo of this part. If I move on to the next one. Okay, and I shall move on to the last part. Okay, Mei Mei has a plastic tray as shown. So you notice this plastic tray, right? They have a gaps in between. Now, state if she can store substance Q in the tray at 30 degrees Celsius. Explain answer. This is interlinked to just now the question. So if you have gotten the states correctly for all the substances, right, you will know whether substance Q can be stored. Now, let's recall. Just now we mentioned substance Q is actually liquid, right? So what are the properties of liquid? Definite volume, no definite shape, cannot be compressed, right? So substance Q. So substance Q is a liquid. Can liquid be stored over here? The answer is no. So, ABC method, the answer is no. Exam, if you write no, but no explanation, you don't even get half a mark for writing no. Yeah? Okay, so we should mention that substance Q is a liquid at 30 degrees Celsius. So, confirm concept, why? Because there are gaps in the tray, which will allow substance Q to flow out of the tray instead of being stored. So, please do not have this mindset that, oh, is it water? Okay, it can be any kind of liquid. So always remember, use the word substance, use the word liquid. Do not be too specific because the question doesn't mention to you what is the various substances are. Yes, so this is how you actually get your mark for this. So if it's all good, please take a photo of this answer. All done? Okay. So I am done with my science part. Okay. So far, any questions? So far, any
Well
questions?
done, well done. Wow, parents, you are so amazing. I was trying to follow her slides and trying to understand. You want to know a fun fact? I was once a science teacher. Yes, I know. Sometimes they say, oh, we teach all subjects, right? Math and science and all as a primary school teacher. So my first year in teaching, I was in the science department, but I had to teach English, math, and science. And some of these questions were, questions that I used to teach the kids as well. That's a lot of pointers to remember, but definitely I did not teach with the ABC technique because 25 years ago, I guess it wasn't quite developed in that sense. So it's really good that we have a very simple guidance like the ABC technique to, get your brain to do a check in. Have I answered the A, the B, the C? And then when you see the fulfillment of that part is done, then you will know that your answer is pretty complete. So this is a structure that BlueTree is really good at, forming and putting it together. And we also have that for math itself. Thank you, Teacher Christina. Please have a breather, rest. See you in a while. So I'm going to take over the math part in the next session. So you don't really have to copy anything, just come with a mindset to learn all the things that you need to know to prepare yourself for the it depends on when your child is sitting for PSLE. Could be 2 years time, could be next year or 3 years time, right? Okay, so mainly BlueTree is 10 years today, like 10 years now this year. It's founded by two of us, Jolene and myself, Faith, and I'm the math specialist, and my partner Joe is actually the science specialist. You might have heard her in some webinars or seen her at the center. So my specialization is actually just to teach math, nothing but math. How did I get into it? It's because I had the opportunity to, I was pulled out from the mainstream to teach in a gifted program. Uh, at first school was Raffles Girls Primary. Then I went on to Rosyth. So I had experience at two different schools. Um, Curriculum is still very much the same, and I adopted some of these good teaching techniques into the BlueTree's curriculum. So very often I hear things like, "Oh, my teacher do not teach these things," and these are really like pretty good shortcuts or techniques I could use to answer those questions. So now you know why our methods really work. I also had the privilege to work with SCAB to set PSLE papers for them while I was still with MOE. I don't do that now, okay? I don't do that now. Yeah, I'm not allowed to do that anymore. So, so teaching math for 25 years. This is the 5-year kind of math analysis. Okay, the 2025 is not out yet, so I can't update it yet until the book is released. Generally, it will be very much similar. That's how I feel it, even though your children may have a slight change in the topics coverage, right? Like no more speed. But don't worry, no speed still have rate. Rate is tested in many formats like parking rates, postage rates, the rate of pouring water from the tap and things like that. So it will be weaved together with like volume and all. I would like to bring your attention to the red box. Let me take away the purple box first. The red boxes, whole numbers, measurement, ratio percentage, usually make up close to 60% of the entire paper. It shows how important it is. Where does fraction goes, right? Fraction and decimals goes into the part where the whole numbers is. Okay, that's a family. Yeah, or rather called numbers lah. It is one big family together in there. And statistics and geometry, like to highlight to you that actually this part, right, there will be more visual type of questions, which I'm gonna show you later some trending questions across like many few years in the PSLE papers, and it'll be good to know. And this holiday, you can already start working with your children. Trust me, yes, it is possible. Okay. What is the new format like? Things have changed. So parents, please keep yourself updated. Uh, don't look at any other website. All the information I have here is taken from the MOE resource page. So, this is what it should be, okay? Yeah, don't go into like this one says this one says that, and then you get yourself confused. So just back it up with MOE SEAB website, which calculator brand to use, what model to buy. Follow SEAB website, okay? Don't go to Shopee and you say, hey, this is $12. Popular sell $35. Then you buy the $12 one. End up the function might be a little different. Yes, I am saying that because a few like 10 years ago, not 10, BlueTree is 10. About 6 years ago, yeah, I was conned into buying a couple, which came out was like the old version of the calculators, but it's still good. If it still perform 97% of the functions there. So take note that the papers is 50-50 marks. So you need to do well for both because it's half-half. Okay. Both papers are about 1 hour 10 minutes, the other one 1 hour 20 minutes. The difference is no calculator and with calculator. Parents would be pretty shocked from P4 moving on to P5, P6. P5, P6 is uses the same format, okay, parents? P4, right, is such that they only have one paper. And then they can sit there for 1.5 hours. Then they go off. Done deal. Okay? However, for P5, P6 will be they sit for 1 hour plus paper, and then including the wait time here and there, it drags it on to 1 hour 45 minutes or more. Then they go for their break and come back. They need to do the other 1 hour 20 minutes paper. It's actually quite draining. It really is a real test of skill and stamina. What are the math changes? So this is especially probably more relevant for parents with two kids, like the older child and the younger kid that's coming up. Then you'll go like, last time your koko learned ratio in P5. Then you flip through the whole P5 textbook, cannot find ratio. Yeah, taken away, gone already. And then they learn in P6. Then you flip through the book and say, what? P4 you learn pie chart? Your koko learn in P6. Yeah, so this is how things have moved around. Okay. Geometry on the 8-point compass also not tested anymore. Time, 24-hour clock, parents, tolong, tolong, tolong. Can you please buy your kids an analog watch? Or, you know, purposely change the setting to 24-hour so that they are more used to looking at 1700 hours and 2359 and what it means. Yeah, make it a fun jargon to speak in this kind of language. I want everyone to sleep by 2159. Then they count. What is 2159? Do you know what is 2159 or not? What time is it? Okay, so parents, this kind of conversation is very much needed at home. But you don't have it at home. It is a general knowledge, right? Like after Monday is Tuesday, after Tuesday is Wednesday. These are called general knowledge. If you don't teach it at home as like a daily lingo and you leave everything for school to do, okay, then you will find that, oh, why my kids struggle with certain things, okay? I'm not saying that you must teach everything at home, but there are some things like money. In the future, parents, you know what will happen in the canteen, right? You know what happened? You can type in the chat. You know what happened in your children's school canteen? There are pros and cons lah. The kids will just use their watch, some devices, then they tap and pay. Oh, they never even touch and feel or look at a $2 note before. So if they use a $2, go and buy kopi for you, they'll probably run away. Do they know no, they must collect the 40 cents change back? To Right. So, I don't even need you to teach any other topic. I just wish you all will have more conversation about two things. One, money, the other one, time. Okay. Yeah. And then nets. Yeah, they shift it around to P4, speed takeaway totally. All right. So these are some of the changes. Nay or yay. I guess I think in terms of like our personal perspective, some difficult topics like average ratio, they move off to P6. I personally feel like if they leave it in P5, you have longer time to master it. Yeah, it's very hard for the P5. But it's hard so you take longer time to get better at it, isn't it? Now you only have a very short, like 5 months runway. You learn already after that, go and sit for exam. Okay, speed remove, of course, it's a big yeah. I totally agree. Pie chart and nets, I feel is something very visual, allows them to develop the skills in reading or looking at the picture and gives them more time to sink in P4 and then build their skills better until P6, right? Okay. Yeah, so take note that more exam questions will be more real life, more authentic numbers, meaning the numbers are humongously big because calculator is given, so no excuses. There'll be more or higher order thinking questions, not like more like last time test 2, now test 10, not like that. this percentage of about 20% thereabout plus minus has always been in the PSLE papers, by the way, for the last 20 over years. It has been like that. So I would disagree when people say PSLE got harder. No, 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 not like that. Okay. There will always be this percentage put for critical thinking, logic math. Okay. It's just that how the children prepare their mindset to understand these questions will need more exposure. Okay. So I've written this book. Interesting, right? In the past, it's for primary 5 and primary 6 because this book actually contains all the important problem sums that's dealing with fraction, ratio, percentage that all the P5 and 6 kids need. But starting from this year onwards, uh, this is only relevant for P6. The P5 can buy and use, but I think it's like maybe 30% of the questions here. That means anything not ratio related, they can attempt it. Yeah. So imagine a P6 kid can use this for 2 years. That means you master the 6 most important type of questions for PSLE. But now the P6 only got 6 months to master it. So you can pick up the book today, scan it, or go to Shopee and look for BlueTree link, and you can find this book to purchase. Okay. Tomorrow we'll mail it out to you. So solve technique, right, is like science as a ABC. Solve, right, SOLVE. It sounds very lame, but it is broken down into search for clues. That means you read and write. Okay. It says Bala's money is 3 times of Amy's money. So you draw a unit 3:1, like that. Later, you will look and link up the information that says, oh, these 4 units add up to $32. Then we will all want to find 1 unit, which is 8. And then you just have to read the math question. Are they looking for Amy's money or Bala's money, or they want the difference in the money? What is it that they want? So you just have to read the question one more time, and then you can frame it and get the answers very quickly. Okay? So this is one of the OPSI question. I modify a little, so stay with me. This is commonly tested, super commonly tested, but there's level 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I show you simple level first. Parents think it's very hard. Not rocket science, okay? Yeah, not rocket math. So I'm going to show you that all you need to do is to have 2 headers, mugs, and cups. And the amount of juice can fill up 18 mugs. Okay, you pour, 18 mugs. Or you change your mind, you don't want already. I don't want mugs. I want to put in cups. So you re-pour and all put 24 cups. Can I understand the story, the logic? Yes. So next time you have party at home, please get your children involved in pouring things. Then they get this whole storyboard and more in tune with it. Then June poured the orange juice into 12 mugs, right? So 18 and 24, actually, the equivalent ratio, when you reduce the lowest term, even if they haven't learned ratio, there is a little trick that we teach our P5s to do. Okay, parents, you can take the photo later. Okay, don't worry about this part. Let me just allow me to draw some lines here. You can draw a line straight down, and we call it tic-tac-toe. Like that already. Huh? Tic-tac-toe. Okay, so don't worry about, mommy, what is that dot dot? What is that? Then you say ratio. Huh? I haven't learned. Some kids very receptive to learning new things. Some kids are not. So it's okay. Just draw a line like that. Take away the dot dot. Okay, the ratio, that colon, right? So 3:4, which means that every 3 marks, then you re-pour, you can pour into 4 cups. Do more role play at home. Last time you all got teapot set, right? Then you all always do this kind of role play with your children. Yum sing, yum sing. Yeah, 5 years old, you all play, right? Then after that, now stop playing already. Say PSLE, no time to play. So you play this. Then say 12 marks. The juice has been poured into 12 marks. That means that on the left-hand side, I have 12 marks. And 12 marks is equivalent to 16 cups. Can follow? Okay, 12 marks is equivalent to 16 cups. And the math question actually asks, how many cups of orange juice can we fill with the remaining orange juice, right? So I got some more balance. How many more cups can I fill it up with? So if 12 marks is 16 cups, anybody wants to try? Just one more step and we get the answer ready. Yeah, parents can try, children can try. You can type in the answer into the chat. All the juice I have can pour 24 cups. But now, after I pour into the marks, but they don't want you to calculate marks. So I have to convert it into cups. So 12 becomes 16 cups. Clever, Joan. So 24 minus 16. Thank you for your participation. All right. So the total 24 cups minus the existing 16 cups, fake one, 16 converted, then you become 8 cups left. Okay. This is called level 1. Very common in some P4 schools. Some P4 schools tend to ask very advanced questions. So when they are in P5, right, the questions that they test really shocked me. They were like, Teacher Faith, although they are with me, they say, Teacher Faith, the school exam, last 2 questions, he don't know how to do. When I look at the last 2 questions, they are actually P6 questions. My jaw dropped. Why is this school putting a P6 question on a P5 paper? That's really too hard for the kids. Okay. So this question, if maybe numbers simplify a little bit, they might just push to a P4 to test them. For some schools, I won't mention name. I think you know which one. Okay. All right. Let me just clear this. Do you want to take a photo? You can take a photo here. And then I can clear up the screen a little bit. So I teach you a little trick already. So when you see ratio in any of our presentation, right? That's meant for P6. To teach a P5, you just draw a line, cut right through, and then they become square box, like boxes, okay? So this is another version, okay? A bookshelf can hold 30 large books and 40 small story books. Yeah, so take note, 30 and 40. After which we will reduce lowest term, then we recognize that 3 large book can take away that space, you can put 4 small books. Can understand? Yeah, like one bench, 3 adults sit on it. But if the 3 adults stand up, you can squeeze 4 children on it. Right, okay. Now it says if there are 3 large storybooks and 24 small storybooks, highlighting in the story that in the question it says, how many more large storybooks can you put? So the focus is on the large, okay? So here, all right, on the right side, if I times 6, I will get 24 small books, which is equivalent to 18 large. Everything I do here looks like ratio question, right? But from the primary 5 context, right, the teacher can also say this is called proportion question. Proportion. You make Ribena, yeah, 2 portion of Ribena, 5 portion of water, example. Yeah, it's just proportion of things, like how much sugar you put into the cake, and then how much sugar, flour you put into the cake as well. So that's in terms of proportion, okay? Where's my clicker? There you go. So here I'm going to focus on the books. What books? Big book or small book? Yeah, I need to change all to large. So I know that there's like so-called 18 large, 24 convert to 18. Then there was already 3 inside. So therefore, I will take my total large books, which is 30, minus the 3 existing, and then the 18 is the fake one. 18 is a converted version. So the answer is 9. Please take the photo. This is level 2 because the condition given, right, the 3 large and 24 was a bit more complicated than the first version. Are you ready for level 3? Yeah. These 2 are my modified version. Okay. These 2 are my modified version to scaffold the learning for the children, right? Then, of course, in my regular lessons, we will teach the children how to solve the real PSLE question. Okay. So these are the books. Yeah, like from pictorial sense, we can see it. Okay. So this is the story, right? 30 and 45. Okay. I think this is the actual question. I forgot. I think I can't remember. Is it the modified version? But doesn't matter. I think it's level 3 already. So I divide by 15 on each side, I get 2:3. Okay, let's digest this information first. So there are 30 large. Yeah, so children, parents, just take note that if your kids currently P4, P5, they might just look at it and go like, ratio. Yeah, teacher Faye, you're teaching my kid to understand. Yeah, of course. What I'm showing you here is the potential question your kid needs to know next year, February. So this is what he should know next year when I start teaching. Okay? Today is an intro to show you uh what it looks like in a PSLE format. Okay? But just relax and learn with me and see how I break down math into very simple bite size for kids and parents to digest. So 30:45 is 2:3. Okay? Then this is the hardest part. Because I reduce it by 3, I will get a number 1. Okay. But on the other side, let me just write over it so that it's brighter. The words is in pink. Okay, so this will become 2/3. The children learn division like fraction. 2 divided by 3 is 2/3. Okay, it's common. Next one, they are asking yeah, I need to change all the small book into big books. So I now need to multiply by 23. So now can you understand why I had to divide by 3 to make the small book 1 unit? Because I need to times 23 small books on the right side. And on the left side, without a calculator, you tell me doable or not? Challenging, right? Yeah. Okay, so let me write for you what this look like. It's 15 and 1/3. Technically, even your child got a calculator, right? Your child will get a shock. Huh? 50 and 1/3. The press the decimal, it become 15.33333. They don't even know how to present it on the paper, you know. Okay, so all these tips we'll teach in class. So how many more large books to place? We take 30 minus 3 that's already on the shelf, this 3. Okay, and then this 15 and 1/3, right, is from here. The converted version, which is saying that 23 small is equivalent to 15 and 1/3. The space allow us to accommodate 11 and 2/3 books. Okay, children, parents, you type in the chat. How many more large storybook can a bookshelf hold? What answer will you put on the paper? Option 1, 11. Option 2, okay? Option 1, 11. Option 2, write 11 and 2/3 book. Option 3, 12 books. Option 4, I, D, K. Just for fun. Okay, Joan say 1. What else? Anybody else? Smarter than me. Wow, so many people in the room. Nobody has answered. Never mind lah. It's okay to make mistake. Yeah, we learn from our mistakes. So it's okay. It's okay. If you're not sure, you type number 4. 11, 11 2/3, 12, IDK. Yeah, I'm that fun teacher that you want to have. But don't worry, I will teach your student, I will teach your children not to write IDK. Thank you for trying. Thank you for trying, okay? There's 2 teaching tips here, okay? Take note of the teaching tips. Listen attentively. Yes, the answer is 11, okay? But at PSLE, it is not marked the way you are thinking. If the children put rounding off to 11, minus marks. Okay? Because once it's 11 and 2/3, I'm not kidding, parents. You have to trust me, I've been the PSLE marker for a very long time. Okay? You cannot round down to 11. 11 and 2/3 on a calculator is 11.66. And it goes on, okay, recurring. So we put a dot at the top. So 11.666 or 11.67. This number is greater than 5. It should be round up to 12. If you round it down to 11, mathematically it's wrong. Minus 1 mark. It's mathematically wrong. So you cannot say My neighbor's son put 11. My son also put 11. Why the teacher minus more marks for the rounding off section? Yeah. Okay. So these are things that we emphasize a lot at BlueTree teaching. My teachers all know, so we'll not anyhow mark. And the kids will be alerted on how to be sharper and better so that they will not lose any of these marks away. Okay. This is another type of questions that is apparently also quite hard for the kids. Yeah. So this will lead us on to the Helen and Ivan with a lot of coins question. Yeah. Mr. Brown would say, why they carry so many coins in their pocket? The question should be asked, when, how far will they run before their pants drop? So this question, I modify it into a level 1. So later you will see the level scaling up, okay? Let me see what's on the chat. Can you go back to the previous slide? Yes, allow you to take a photo on this one. Okay, take a photo, please. Yes, yes, yes. This one is a real PSI question, not modified one. Real PSI question. Okay. And yeah, in BlueTree, I will have all these questions infused in there. More than 10 years of PSI questions will be found inside our range of worksheets. I don't put all together and say, nah, this is a 2020 paper, or nah, this is 1998 paper. No, I don't do that. Okay. I will pull out what needs more attention and focus, okay, for your child to receive the learning. It's called do less, learn more. Be efficient in what we practice, right? So Jack and Faith order an equal number of burgers and apple pies for Children's Day. A burger costs $5 while an apple costs $2. So this will tell you a bit of ding 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 money related quantity times value. Faith ordered 10 burgers and some apple pies, while Jack ordered 15 burgers and some apple pies. As you are reading, your children will be trained to be doing some drawing at the same time. So this will be Faith, 10 burgers, and Jack, 10, but a bit more, 5. This whole process is called read and write, like I was demonstrating just now. Crunch time during exam, you only have 2 minutes or less to solve like a 2-mark problem sum. If you read 3 times, then you start to think and draw, you will not have time to finish the entire paper. Okay, so all these will be trained since B4. B3 they are taught, but B3 uh, drawing skills a bit slow. So we will like go more patient and more time given for drawing. But P4 onwards, they will be more time intense focused. So burgers look like this, and the other half, the other part of it will be the apple pies in this format. Can see? Okay, so the apple pies is the white strip like this. So the question is, who spent more? A, who spent more? Looking at the model itself, parents, you won't believe it. The children actually understand just by looking at the model. If they read the story alone, they don't understand. But they read the model, they understand. Okay, basically what happened here is burgers, same price. I cut this out. Apple pie, same price. So left side, right side, nothing to compare. We only compare middle part. Okay, so this is apple pies and this is burger. Which one more expensive? Yeah, you can type A or B. Which one more expensive? Apples or burgers? So in the middle, there are 5 apple pies for Faith. And then at the bottom, there's 5 burgers by Jack. Yeah, B, burger. Thanks, Cheryl. Yeah, that is more expensive, right? Which means Jack spent more lah. Got it? Logical? Very easy to understand, right? Yeah. So even without calculating, by logic, they know Jack will spend more. But how much more, which is part B, then we calculate. So there'll be 5 times $2 and 5 times $5. Then you do your subtraction. Done. You can take a picture of this. This is level 1. When can they test this? Crazy school, B4. Normal school, B5, B6. Normal school. What is normal school? I think at the end of it, right? you kind of know whether your child's school, right, actually asks questions of, sometimes like a bit harder or not. Yeah. It doesn't mean that only the schools that like Nanyang, MGS do that. No, it's not true. There are some schools that I know, like how you're defined as like neighborhood school, right? They also test rather challenging questions too. Yeah. Mhm. This is the real PSLE question, which you will no longer, let me just do my math check. Next year is 2026. Let me write it down visually for you to see. Next year is 2026. Okay. Your child, you pick up the PSLE book from popular bookstore, you will get 25, 24, and 23. So inside the book, there are only 3 years of exam papers. 2021, you cannot see already. So that is why I pull out a question from the past. Doesn't mean it's not relevant. It is relevant because we are talking about the thinking skills behind how this question is solved. Okay. So Helen and Ivan have an equal number of coins. All right. Then Helen has some 50-cent coin and 64 20-cent coins. And then it says the weight. And Ivan has some 50-cent coin and 104 20-cent coins. Let me just draw the model and show you how. Okay. So Helen, 64. Ivan, 64 plus a 40 more. So that's 104. And earlier I explained to you that this part is the same. So there's nothing else to compare. I draw a vertical line. This part also the same because both are 50 cents. Nothing to compare. We only compare the middle. So the middle part here, all right, this fella's one, Ivan's one, all 20 cents. Whereas this fella's one, which is Helen's one, they are all 40 coins, but all 50 cents. Yeah, how to have such conversation with my children at home? Have. With our kids, when they collect their money, right? Then they say, Daddy, I got 10 ang pao. The other kid also said, I got 10 ang pao. But one kid inside all $2. The other kid inside all $50. Now you know what I mean? Both has 40 ang pao, but inside all 20 cents, and the other side all 50 cents. Who will have more money? This is logic conversation. Logical, math logic. Okay? Then after which, when they apply to a problem sum like this, then it goes like, Aya, so obvious, right? It must be Helen that has more money lah. Because she got 40, 50-cent coin what? The question is how much more, right? So we'll take 40 times 50 cents, 40 times 20 cents, and then we minus. The answer is $12. I tell you, the next thing that actually you know lah, but you don't believe me. Your children learn this, right? And they go, yeah, I understand. No need next month. Next week they forgot already. Please type yes if you agree with me. You understand? Yes. Tomorrow say, boy, sit down, show me. Then write 2 step. I know leh, very familiar leh. How come I forgot how to do? But mommy, I'm very sure I understand. Right. So sometimes I purposely choose some of these questions which I know it will require more than 3 times of drill. I will let it repeat in different parts of my worksheet. Okay. Like one time in the first exposure, second time in one of the review tests, another time in like somewhere else. And the kids can go like, teacher, this question look familiar. Another one will go like, teacher, we have done this before, like very firm. Okay. But usually those who can repeat it, like 30% of them only, like do it very confidently. Yeah. Because the 30% are the ones who revise their work. Like truly they revise their work every weekend. Mhm. The next part of the story that the children get stuck with was that how come the coins question involves some mass involved, okay, in the story. So if each 50-cent coin weigh 2.7 grams more than each 20-cent coins, got it? At the same time, we are only comparing everything in the middle because the left side and the right side coins, same as. There's no difference. So therefore, all right, when we compare the model, one coin is 2.7 gram heavier than the other coin, and there are 40 of them, then the mass difference is 0.108. This one has a tricky component in here, okay, parents? Just that you know, when I set PSI papers, also like that. This question was not too hard. I just throw in one more conversion component here, die liao. Yeah, because some kids are very smart one. They convert, then become like that. 0.18. Yeah, they ate up the zero in the middle. Or 0.018. Well, I also don't know how it happened. Okay, they have a calculator to use, but they didn't use it for checking. So 0.108, okay, is the difference in the mass. Then it says that Helen's coin is 1.134 kg. So if Helen's coin is heavier, Ivan's coin must be lighter. Okay, so therefore, I just minus. Ta-da! I'm done. But the children, ding, 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 and overthink. Please take a photo of this because it's not in your PSI booklet anymore. But yes, you can go internet and Google Helen and Ivan. Yeah, some teachers will show it in a very easy way. Some teachers show it in a different manner. This is my easiest way to make sense out of this. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So in our teaching, every week our video recordings are made available for the regular students to have a look at it, because I totally truly understand that not everyone can retain information 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours until PSLE. So there's a lot of review and revisit needed. Okay, math science, as long as you sign a regular lesson, PPC lesson, holiday program, all the video recordings are made available for your children to review and review for the year. This is 2023 paper. You can see a lot of geometry questions in here. We are not solving them. Just let you have a look how scary. 1 year only. These are all the angles question. 1 year, 2023. I didn't even flag out more. 2024. Okay, angles question that comes with A, B, C, D, but no numbers mentioned. 2024. Look at this. Okay. Yeah. So these are all angles questions from 2024. On the left-hand side is angle combined with base height of triangle. How smart, sneaky. So 2023, wow, visual questions. And these are some of the questions that really frighten the children, but don't worry, I cover them in our regular revision. 16, 17, 17 here, very difficult. Yeah, 28. Question 15 on the one on volume, as long as there's visual, right? Yeah, you can find them on my TikTok video as well. I make some of these solutions. You can review them. So some of the things that we do is not just like black and white paper, hardcore drill, 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 okay? Sometimes you really need that hands-on activity, a good mix of this, same like math, same like science, like they do experiment. For math, right, we will do like some hands-on activity in the classroom to help them recall, recap, link up the things that they have learned, okay? We can't say like net looks like that. It's flat. You fold it, become a cube. They really cannot see it until we really take those things and fold them into a cube. And this fun activity that the students did in class was simply amazing. What is symmetry mean? Symmetry means half-half lah. But you also don't show your kids what's half-half, right? So what must we do? We must cut paper in class, give them a little bit of short activity, and then they realize that, wow, I cut one side, open it up, well, left and right is the same, and they can be made into some artwork. We extend the discussion into beyond the classroom and talk about real world math in engineering, in architecture, in many forms. If you do not know, like if you know, sorry, the circumference of the circle, the formula, you will know how these engineers actually know how much of this steel and metal and things to order, right? To fix it. You can't be fixing halfway and then you realize you don't have enough of those materials. Some of these things that we do in class is related to ratio, where they measure their height, their arm span, and they say it's the same. So it actually helps to motivate the children, help them build confidence and instill higher order thinking. A firm foundation is definitely built. You might not see it like immediately now, but I'll tell you, when they reach secondary school, a lot of our students are doing very well. We lay the grounding. Secondary school, I mean, it's a process of learning, right? You just click, right? Okay, so manipulatives are truly very important in our math teaching. So like nets, Toblerone, I know, I tell you, I'll be so shocked, when I teach the P4 to P6, the kids tell me they've never seen a Toblerone chocolate before. Parents, what are you hiding from your kids? You go chocolate section and say, hey, go next, I'll go and collect the bread. Please lah, show them some of these things, okay? Open up the chocolate, then they discover what's the shape of the chocolate. Don't deprive them this Christmas, please. And see the kids when they build the cubes and the formation, they are answering some math question like what is it like from the front view, side view, top view, back view. Okay, it's tested. Does the calculator help all the time? Yeah, the word is help. Sometimes, but there are sometimes like questions like this, it was actually found in a non-calculator segment. You can take a photo of this. You cannot find in your regular papers really, but it's in our worksheet. So the question like this, right? You know that I can just ask a 3-second question. Do you think X and Y has the same size? X and Y are both squares. Do you think they are the same size? Just type in the chat yes or no. Just put Y or N. Don't worry, I won't judge you. It's okay. If you think X and Y is the same size, yes. If you think it's not, just say no. Don't try to calculate this, please. 3, 2, 1. Your chance is up. Good. I got 2 answers. One say yes, one say no. Doesn't matter. All right. The answer is no. Let me just click and bring you through. So this is how we cut it up to see that this is the same size. And then the other side, I cut it up and it's a different size. On the bottom left, I cut into 4 equal parts. On the top right, I cut into 9 equal parts. All right, half of the bottom half is shaded. And then, oops, let me see. I can't see this part. 4/9 of the top half is shaded. But since both are the same half of this square, right? Sorry, pardon my line. That's so bad. I better take away. I have to change the denominator of 18. All right, that means this is 18 units and this is 18 units. So for the entire square is 36 units. Got it or not? Yeah, later I let you take photo of this. Okay, so total stays the same. So finally, what is the answer? 17/36 is shaded. X and Y is not equal. Take a photo, please. Parents, trust me. You will hold on to this photo, look at it every 3 months, and still scratch your head. PSLE, 2-mark questions, solve it in 1 minute. If you don't train your eyes to be sharp with visualizing it or with your hands and strategies to work on it fast, it's quite yeah, quite demanding for the children to solve it in a good below 2 minutes type of question. Okay, we do write a lot of books at BlueTree, so welcome to explore them and have a look at them. It's very small, like half a A4, very easy for you to carry around, put in your handbag, bring to travel also can. Yeah, because I want the children to like put inside a school bag and they read it for silent reading, like before exams or things like that. So yeah, it's not like one big book and everyone can see it. So it's a small little thing. And then we have different programs at BlueTree, the weekly class, PPC, PIC. Yeah, that we will inform you as we move along the year. Come experience a free trial lesson with us. All right. We have math, we have science, we have Chinese. So don't see the kid look stressed, the kid not stressed. They're having a lot of fun with like making a lot of things. Sometimes the choice they make can bring home. Okay. Yeah. So if you're interested, please come and inquire. Yeah, thank you. Sign up for a free trial with us. Where's my clicker? It stopped clicking. What happened? It hang. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So if you like us to contact you, just drop us an email at contact@bluetreeeducation.com, or you can just drop a message now, 96160312, and then my team will get back to you shortly tomorrow. Shortly, it's not tomorrow. We'll get back to you tomorrow. Today is really an exciting day. It is like PSLE results day. And those sitting for PSLE next year, exactly, 12 months later. Yeah, you will be in school receiving the good results that your children have. Okay, so trust us, enroll your kids with us early. Then it allows us more time to work on the stamina and the heavy content. We will bring your child through There's 12 months, actually less than 12 months lah, because result collecting is in November and we finish exam in end September, early October. So I would say 8 months. Okay, so join us for a 8 months program, AL1, guaranteed improvement. Yeah, but you must give us reasonable time lah to work on it. Okay, you bring me 3 weeks before PSLE, I cannot lah. It's like you throw me a ball of crochet needles and stuff, and then you tell me crochet a sweater in 1 hour. I think a professional also need minimally 3 to 6 hours to do it, right? So if you throw a kid to me for 3 weeks of training to score AL1, can lah, but very stressful for the child. So I totally would not advocate that. The children needs to feel enjoy the learning. So that is really very important. Okay. All right. Do you have any other questions to ask? Yeah. So we are around for trial lessons. Oh, lessons is still going on for next 2 weeks. So yeah, come by our centers. Some centers are open almost every day, while some open on alternate days. So you can just drop a message to us and check in if we are open and just walk in and speak to our people. Yeah, like Tampines, Seletar Mall, Choa Chu Kang. Yeah. How many centers does BlueTree have? Do you all know? I give you a hint. You type in the chat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many centers does BlueTree have in Singapore? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Type a number. Don't cheat, don't cheat. Amelia asked, which center do you teach? Or grammatically wrong. Which center? Not centers. I teach at 9. Wow, Joey, thank you. Okay, so 7 is the correct answer. Thanks, Rachel. There are 7 centers in Singapore. I teach at Orchard Branch, SSC. Teacher Christina teaches at Tampines. Is there an N somewhere? Just Tampines?
Online program.
Online program. I also have one online program. I almost forgot. I have
Yeah.
one, but my online program is for next year P5, if I remember correctly. Next year P5. Then the P6 one is taken by Sherlyn. Yeah, so we do have online programs. So if your child is super busy, come have a chat with us. CHAT, just have a chat with us, and we can always try to work out something that is feasible for you, your child, wherever you are. I have kids who, like I remember this 2 sisters that did synchronized swimming, and basically they sign up for online class, whom I never met in real life setting. So after they graduated, they dropped by the center and say hi to me. Yeah, so what they did was, because of their busy training sessions, they always end at 10 p.m. After school, then they will eat dinner, then they will go for training that starts at maybe 7:30 or 8 o'clock until 10 o'clock at those clubs, right? So I really never seen those kids for online, and I only see them when they came by the BlueTree Center to say hi to me. I was like, oh, hi, like, yeah, because they are so busy with their schedule, so they watch the video recording at any time that they can find time. So maybe they watch it on Sunday morning, or they watch it on Saturday evening. They're training on Saturday morning, then after evening they're free. So they will catch up with the video recordings, uh, um, OT, yeah, own time, own target. Yeah. So when they travel, sometimes they also try to sneak in some viewing time. Yeah. So yes, feel free to come and inquire. I teach P5 and P6. How about Christina? What levels do you teach?
For next year, P5, P6.
Okay lah. Why? Because we truly believe that we want to journey with your child, not just 1 year, but for that continuation, P5 right through to P6. It's very amazing the because when the P6 come into the classroom, right? I know 3/4 of them already. And you don't come up with funny pattern, okay? I know. Very fast. Within 1 month, we will be able to build that rapport and get down to work. And we make magic in the classroom. Yeah, so the students also won't feel like, why this teacher that oh no, mommy say very stressed, or mommy say PSLE, oh, you know, when they come to PSLE, be like, hey, teacher Faith, okay, okay, I know mommy say must work hard, okay, I'll work hard with you. So their mindset is also more ready to in Hokkien say chong with us. Yes. So our teachers are also very trendy. Yeah. We know what's a 6-7. Yeah. But now got the 4-1, got the 8-9. Parents, you can never catch up with it, but it's okay. You just leave it to us. Okay. We are the goats for sure. I know your kids are laughing, but you do not know what's happening. Yes. The generation is like this. You must catch up with times. So leave it to us. We will, have fun with your kids in the classroom. Fun. Open, close, inverted. Fun with your kids. And like what teacher Christina said, we are firm. So Sigma. There you go. Thank you very much. We are firm and what? Firm and fun. We are not strict. We are not fierce. I think we are firm. Firm and fun. F and F. Okay. Have faith in faith. Okay. Yeah, just a few students message me with their good results. I reply, "Yeah, good." Then if the kids understand, they reply. But the mothers don't understand, they never reply me. Maybe they say, "Teacher Faith siao already." Yeah. Okay, any more questions to ask us? Yes, looking forward to see you soon. You can join us anytime this week, even tomorrow. Next 2 weeks in December. So if you're traveling, never mind. Just talk to us first. Then we see you in January. Okay? Actually, our lessons start end of December also. Yeah, end of December, except the 31st and 1st. Otherwise, the rest of the day's lesson goes on. Okay, all right. Okay, thank you very much, parents, for being with us. Wow, some of you are still hanging, are still around. Thank you for your support. Your presence means a lot to us. Thank you, Amelia. Thank you, Cheryl. Who else? Rachel, Ong Ong, May, Mana. Thank you, Livia. Thank you. Thank you, Jessie. Thank you, Joey, Cynthia, Cheryl, Angela, Celia, Belle. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being such great supporters, Sherilyn, May. If you guys want to find out more about our program, just check in with us. If you want to speak to any one of us, just drop them a note. We will give you a call. Thank you. Yes, I'm going to eat my dinner now. Bye. Wow, you've been with us since primary 3 ah. Wow, 加油 ah. Very good. Hope to see your child through to P6 huh? Yeah. Who's your teacher? Like who's teaching your kids? The P3 kids. Sorry, I'm very curious. Yes, next year P6. Phew. Phew. Thank you for your support. Okay. I will give you a long service award. Thank you. Good night, everyone. Oh, I see. What's the location? I think Christina knows where's the location. Aha!
CCK. CCK.
CCK. Okay, in good hands, in good hands. Fun and firm. Yeah. Very good. I think this is our tagline. We train our teachers to be fun and firm. Firm and fun. Yeah. Okay, good night, everybody. Thank you, Teacher Christina. Tag team with you again soon. Good night. Bye.